Well, hello everybody, it's your brother Larry Ortega coming to you from LAO Studios in Pomona, California with this week's Community Technology Report. This week I want to talk to you about computer training, but not just any kind of computer training. We're talking about computer training that's stretching your child's imagination, building their intellectual capacity by solving real-life problems while simultaneously being introduced to technology tools that they will use the rest of their life. As Desiree shares in this ABC7 TV clip that was taken all the way back in 1999.
If we didn't work together, we wouldn't be able to develop the comic book. So it takes a lot of cooperation.
So a quick story on Desiree. She went on to get her degree from UCLA in social work, and when I last talked to her about 8 years ago, she was actually leading a program for a group called Ultimate that was helping disadvantaged families all the way out in East LA. At the end of this video, you're going to find some links where you can get more information on how you or your child can plug into computer training programs here at Community Union. So this brings us to our next story, Tanya, where she shares that the after-school program introduced her to computers, leading her to enroll in Cal Poly Pomona. Tanya actually became one of our successful trainers in Whittier, where she then was teaching adults how to use the Microsoft Office suite. Word, Excel, PowerPoint.
Tanya Gomez is one of over 2,500 students who graduated from the program and has continued her studies at Cal Poly Pomona.
I just became really attached to computers after that, and I realized how much they can do, and ever since I've been really interested.
And now this brings us to our star, David. When we first met David as a kid in elementary school, we knew he was going to be successful. He always carried this demeanor of success, even as a 12-year-old child. Listen in to the impact that the after-school computer training program made to his life and how the comic book project gave him an outlet to stretch and grow his intellectual capacity.
I really like doing this a lot because I get to express my ideas and my drawings and everything that I come up with for Y2K.
So we are so fortunate to have David in the studio with us today where he's going to share his story about the impact this program made on his life. So David, thank you for being here first of all. And let's get right into it, can we? So tell the folks watching at home here how we met and what the impact the after-school computer training program had on your life. Any of the skills that you might have taken away from it.
As a child, I attended the Baldwin Park Community Center, and there I took classes, computer training classes, where I was able to explore technology. One of the main reasons why I liked the computer class had to do with the fact that it was providing a service and it was providing an educational outlet that schools at the time in my area were not. The class at the community center really was able to bring about this sense of adventure and sense of encouragement to myself because it challenged me in ways that the current school system did not. Where else at the time did you get a bunch of kids together and say, hey, let's make a comic book? Saying, hey, let's all get together. Here's this fantasy world that I want you guys to create. Now narrate it, make characters so that we could share it with the world. Eventually got into high school. I remember that there was usually two types of students in the classroom. Individuals like myself that we knew how to use technology. We knew how to use Microsoft PowerPoint. So that skill in and of itself, I wouldn't have been able to not only learn but refine if it wasn't for that class. To this day, even in my adulthood, if I need to train, it's going to be good. And it's going to be something that is honestly second nature to me because of that early educational impact that I had. Once you learn it that one time and you get good at it, you don't forget it. For that class and that introduction, I am very grateful.
So David, tell the folks watching this video, what career are you in right now? And what is the importance of actually challenging children at a young age?
Still pursuing a career in technology, and namely educational technology. If I wouldn't have been challenged or at least shown this pathway, shown this new experience in terms of a career path to be able to do something that not only interested me but could also be used to educate others, I would be a much very different person right now.
Well, thank you for sharing that, David. Do you have any stories that you'd like to share in your professional career thus far?
I wanted to share a story of when I was originally hired with the City of Baldwin Park. I was hired as a computer specialist. One of my objectives there as a computer specialist was to reignite the passion or the curiosity for a lot of the patrons that we had there. Pulled me aside and he said, David, this means we're going to need to rebuild this lab, right? And I told him, yeah, I know that's exactly what it means. He says, well, I'd like you to help us with the design. And I said, really? He says, yeah, you've been a great help to us, since you got hired, and so now I need you to help us redesign this lab. So I did. Then I submitted all of these ideas, and yeah, they did it. They reconstructed the lab exactly as I envisioned it. Now it was the community center lab, but it was also my lab. The lab is still there, still functioning, still using a lot of the applications that I originally introduced.
Man, David, that is incredible. So the lab gets destroyed in a storm. The city comes to you and they says, hey, let's rebuild this stuff. And they throw the entire thing into your lab. And you're able to redesign the lab that you actually had learned in yourself at one time back when you were 12 years old. What an incredible story. Tell me a little bit about, what's happening with this social media craze that all of our young people are into right now. What are your thoughts on that as a technology expert?
Just social media seems like a lot of noise. It seems just like a lot of information that is really superfluous to me that I don't need. It's not to say that I'm against socializing. That's not it at all. I do like talking with people, but I like still the first person experience. And a lot of social media nowadays, it's more focused on profitability, and it's very rare that it's for the greater good.
So right on, David, I'm totally with you on the social media thing. It's like it's gotten out of hand. And the distraction factor. Our kids and everybody, man, you see people like in a restaurant, there's 4 people sitting around the table and they're all kind of looking at their cell phones. Something's wrong with that kind of picture. Do you have any final words? Anything that you'd like to share with the folks that are watching right now? What do you share with David Villegas today at 12 years old?
I would say to my younger self and to anyone, along that age is that never use the fact that you don't know something as an excuse not to do it. If you don't know something, don't let it stop you from not only learning it, but from preventing you from doing other things. If you need a particular skill to get to where you want to be, then get it, acquire it. You can open up a web page, you can click on the search button and type in how I do, etc. Something will pop up. A wiki will pop up. A YouTube page will pop up. And at least now you know what you can do to get started. Never limit yourself over the skills that you don't know, because if you really want it, if you really want that objective, you're going to learn those skills, and now nothing can stop you. Again, I just wanted to say this publicly. Thank you, Larry, for reaching out and allowing me to express myself over this and over the years that I've lived and how this has impacted me. But back then, this program provided a service. It provided that intellectual and imagination outlet that just there doesn't seem to be a lot of these days. What can we do? What can we teach kids right now that is not only going to spark their curiosity, but help them become better people? Why not? Let's just do it.
Yeah, why not? Let's just do it, right? There's obviously big time benefit to these after school computer training programs, and there need to be more of them. We need to get more people plugged into them. I couldn't agree more. It's so necessary for us to keep stretching our children's imagination and keep challenging them, because that's how they build their intellectual capacity, as you've wonderfully articulated here today. And all the thanks goes to you, brother. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming out and sharing your story. All of that goes back to you. Really appreciate that. And back to you right here. I want to thank you all for watching and hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I did. It's time for us to get on this thing and begin maximizing the existing resources that's all around us. Schools are equipped with tens of thousands of dollars in technology, connected to millions of dollars in resources that sit in our vadios idle for most of the time. There are models like this program that have positively impacted David, Desiree, Tanya, and thousands of other children. Now, if you'd like more information and how we can train you or your child, just click on the website that's coming up at the end of this video. We do trainings for children, one-on-one, in small groups or entire classes. We can come to you or you can come to us. However you want to do it, we can make this thing happen. The main thing, as David was saying, is let's make it happen. For more information in this and other training, please click the link that's coming up right here. And oh yeah, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up on these community technology reports and other pearls that we've gained in our 35-year experiment of training children and their parents in technology. So yeah, be sure to click right here, and right there. See you next time. Take care and have a wonderful day.